Shalom Israel. Before I start, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Bahara Kakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles in Israel who rule and teach well, Akims and Iwas and Bios and those pushing videos in truth and sincerity, to the brothers and sisters in the truth. I just wanted to do a quick lesson dealing with the false balance and a just weight. Like we teach that salvation is just for Israel, and a lot of people think, that's wrong. Then the things that we've been through, the scripture lets us know that the Lord loves judgment. Let me quickly grab that, because the Most High is a judge, and a judge, to be a good judge, you have to judge justly. Um, so, yeah, to be a good judge, you have to judge justly. You have to judge right. And if these other nations were to gain the kingdom with us, that wouldn't be right. It wouldn't be just, because we've been punished for the things that we've done wrong. And these other nations have not been punished for the things that they have done wrong. This is Psalms 37:28 says, "For the Lord loveth judgment, and forsaketh not his saints. They are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off." Says the Lord loveth judgment. Look at what this says. Judgment.
Strong's H 4941. Mishpat. Mishpat.
It says judgment, justice, ordinance, judgment, act of deciding the case, place, court, seat of judgment, process, procedure, litigation. It says here, sentence. Yeah, so the Lord, he passes sentences and he does that righteously. Yeah, decision of judgment, execution of judgment. Yeah, he's the executor as well of the judgment that is to come. Justice, right, attributes of God or man, ordinances, decision in law, right, privilege, due. Okay, but we know when it comes to doing what's right and just, the Most High is the judge of all of these things. So when it says here, Proverbs 11:1, it says, "A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight." So for these other nations to receive the kingdom and not to be punished for the wrongs that they've done, that would be a false balance. And it says a false balance is an abomination to the Lord. Yeah, just like how we did wrong and we've been punished for the things that we've done, and we've been punished by the hands of these other nations. So therefore, they have to receive their judgment. Yeah, and when you read the scriptures, it will be by our hands. When you read Ezekiel 25, verse 14 or 12 to 14. So I looked up, went online, I found this little article here about just weight. It's from called Church of the Great God. Yeah, I just want to read a little bit of this article. It says, however, human nature, being what it is, did not take long for the unscrupulous to use one stone for a standard when buying and a different one for selling. So therefore, straight away, human nature, as they're saying, is dealing in unjust weights. In this way, they could tip the balances, yeah, in their favor by using weights that were advantageous to them. Using such a double standard as it came to be known might materially benefit the individual, but it was highly destructive to the overall society because it bred distrust and suspicion. And today, the society that we live in, this is the way it operates. It deals in an unjust weights. It tips the balances in favor of one whilst it oppresses the other. It says, this is why the Most High's word makes it clear that universal and unchanging weights and other measures are crucial to the smooth functioning of a group of people. And this is why the Lord gave us these laws, so that we can have a smooth functioning of our society, of our nation. And when we look at the nation that we live in, it's totally unbalanced in the way it operates. It says shortly after leaving Egypt, the Most High emphasized to Israel the necessity of justice and honesty when weighing and measuring. Yeah, so for these other nations to receive the kingdom with us, that will be unjust. Yeah, because we've been punished for our wrongdoings, and we've been punished by the hands of these other nations. Therefore, they need to be punished for the things that they have done. And that's justice, that's weighing the balances. Now, I looked up justice. There's a quality of being just, righteousness, equitableness, or moral rightness. These are things that is missing from this society. There's to uphold the justice of a cause. Like, ain't we always complaining? Marching, Black Lives Matter, hands up, don't shoot. And how long have we been doing this? And we're still not getting justice. Yeah, rightfulness or lawfulness, as of a claim or title, justness of ground or reason. The moral principle determine just conduct. Yeah, these are things that is missing from the society. Yeah, conformity to this principle as manifested in conduct, just conduct, dealing or treatment. And these are things that we're always complaining about not being dealt with correctly, the treatment that we're receiving. There's laws that's in place, but then when it comes to our people, it's never meted out equally. You and someone of another nation could be charged for the same thing, but we always seem to get the full force of the law. That's a false balance. That's not a just weight. And when we look at the scriptures, we see just weight being meted out in prophecy. This is Isaiah 51 verse 21 says, "Therefore now hear this, thou afflicted." Yeah, we're the afflicted and drunken, but not with wine. Yeah, we've gone into all kind of philosophies, doctrine. Yeah, now we don't even know who we are for the most part. We believe we're another nation of people just because we look like them. It says, "Thus saith thy Lord, the Lord, and thy power that pleadeth the cause of his people." And this is who the Most High is pleading the cause for, his people, not for every people, but for his people. And the reason why he's pleading the cause of his people, because we've been dealt a just weight by these unjust weight, I should say, Slakia, by these other nations. They've been dealing with us by using false balances. "Behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again." Yeah, so we had to drink of that cup that the Most High gave us. So let's see what he says now. "But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee." Yeah, that's being just. That's dealing out a just balance. Yeah, we had to drink, and now they're gonna have to drink. It says, "But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said to thy soul, bow down, that we may go over. And thou hast laid thy body as the ground, and as the street to them that went over." So this is just balance that we're reading in the scriptures. Yeah, the Lord is all about justice. As we started off, a false balance is an abomination, but a just weight is his delight. Now this is Jeremiah 30 and 16. "Therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured." So we were devoured by others. So to balance it out, they will be devoured. It says, "And all thine adversaries, plural, every one of them shall go into captivity." Why? Because they have had us in captivity. "And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil." Yeah, can you see the justness in what the Most High is dishing out? Yeah, they spoiled us, and now they will be spoiled. That balances out the scale. "And all that prey upon thee will I give for prey." Yeah, that's justice. Yeah, look. "But a just weight is his delight." Now, and that's throughout the scriptures, man. This is let me grab this. Galatians 6. What does it say? Galatians 6 and verse 7. says, "Be not deceived, the Most High is not mocked. For whatsoever a man sow, that shall he also reap." Yeah, that's a just weight. You know, if you're planting one thing and reaping something different, that's not right. Yeah, that's going off. You know, you're meant to reap what you sow. So throughout the scriptures, we can see that the Most High deals with justice. He doesn't deal with false balances, whereas this kingdom deals with false balances. This is why when we're in the kingdom of heaven, we'll be dealing with a just weight and just balances. And this is why things will run smoothly in the kingdom. It won't be like this kingdom where everything's just lopsided. You got those in the upper echelons who's doing well, then you got those on the other scale who's, doing poorly. You know? And that's not because they haven't got laws, but it's because they don't deal with a just weight. They don't use their laws justly. Like they give you the scales. Let's see if I can find that image of the scales. Scales. Yes, the scales of justice. Yeah, the scales of justice. Now, what are these scales of justice? Let's see if it gives us anything. It's talking about series. But the purpose of this, is that everything is meant to be just and balanced. Yeah, let's look at some of these images. Give us a second. See, that's the purpose of a scale. It's meant to be just so that you can weigh things out equally. This society does not deal with that. The scales are lopsided. It's not giving us nothing. Okay. Oh, let me quickly see something. Yeah, scales of justice meaning. Scales of justice represents the balance of the individual against the needs of the society and a fair balance. Yeah, that's a just weight between interests of one individual and those of another. Yeah, the personification of justice, balancing the scales, dates back to the Egyptian goddess of justice, Mahat, who stood for truth and fairness. Well, so them say. Yeah, but the point I want to bring out is that the scales of justice represents the balance of the individual against the needs of the society and a fair balance between interests. Yeah, we've not been having a fair balance, but the Lord brings that out in the scriptures. Like we read in Jeremiah 30:16. That's a fair balance. Isaiah 51, 21 down to 23. That's a fair balance. Let me bring out one more fair balance. Revelation 13. Justice, a just weight, fair balances. It's all throughout the scriptures. This is Revelation 13 and 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. That's a fair balance. That's a just weight. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Yeah. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Like it says, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. That's fair, that's just. So the Lord deals with just weights. This is why all nations can't be saved. Because they have to face their judgment for the wrongs that they have done. Let me quickly bring up one more precept. Showing you that just weights and just balances. It's throughout the scriptures, and the Lord is a judge upon these things. It is Jeremiah 49 and 12. For thus saith the Lord, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. Yeah? We drank from the cup. And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? So we were punished by drinking from the cup. So therefore you have to be punished, because you was the one that was used to punish us. Thou shalt not go unpunished. Yeah, I'm going to say you and talk about these other nations. Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. Now this is talking about Edom. Yeah, but it also goes for the other nations, because when you read Psalms 83, it says that they conspired against us. Yeah. So yeah, with that, the Lord deals with a just weight, just balances, and there's prophecies dealing with just weights, and judgment for these other nations, just like how we had to deal with our judgment. Yeah. So with that, and close out. Hopefully that was edifying for someone. Yeah, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Kara Kakadash, Kwame Allah.